God is good. I will read the eulogy for us. Then she transferred to Republic Primary in Mirenga, where she sat as CPE after successful completion of primary education. She joined Urban Girls High School for all levels. On completion, she joined nursing school in Kisumu briefly before changing her career to banking, telecommunication, and then insurance industry. Her career and professional life. Rose was extremely ambitious and versatile. She started her professional career as a teacher. Then she briefly worked as a nurse before moving to banking for several years. She later changed her profession by joining X Telecoms, which was a prominent parastatal in the IT sector. In X Telecoms, she worked in liaison with East Africa Aviation Controls, National and Interpol Intelligence. Upon leaving X Telecom, she joined the insurance industry, where she worked as an insurance agent with Liberty Insurance until her death. Rose was very hardworking. Aside from her professional career, she also established her own enterprise named Rosdeva Furniture Mart in Nairobi and later opened a branch in Eldoret. Family life. Rose and Isaac met in 1970 as teachers. Their love blossomed and they later got married and were blessed with 2 children, the late Edith Caroline Mirenga and Valentine Mirenga. The family has had a pleasure of expanding with a daughter-in-law, Samu Adam Hussein, and 2 grandchildren, Ryan and Kadimala Mirenga. Rose was a doting mother to so many nieces and nephews who grew up under her care. She opened her house to friends and relatives who came for her wise counsel. Christian and community life. Rose has lived within the Woodley community peacefully with her neighbors for over 40 years. She was an active member of the All Saints Cathedral, where at some point she offered to be a Sunday school teacher. She also an enrolled member of the Mothers Union, an active participant in TEE at All Saints Cathedral, Nairobi. Illness. Rose led a very healthy life and active life from childhood through to adulthood, until the unfortunate accident that happened in February last year, which had a serious impact on her health. We thank God that even during that period of pain, Rose maintained her charming smile and hope. She still had her plans in life and never gave up with God. In late May 2021, she was scheduled to undergo a surgical procedure, which led to her being admitted at Kenyatta National Hospital. The procedure was postponed as she was discharged only to be admitted at Nairobi Women 2 weeks later, where she succumbed on 24th June 2021. May her beautiful soul rest in peace. God is good.
Thank you, Winnie, for taking us through that time of eulogy. Let me now invite the following people. Please follow each other in this order. We'll begin with Benta. You will be followed by Anne Manyara, and the last person will be Ken. Follow each other in that order. Please use the left hand or the podium on my right. Benta, we are waiting for Benta.
Good afternoon. My name is Belta. I'm speaking on behalf of Mrs. Abila. Mrs. Abila is one of our colleagues at work at Liberty Life Insurance, but it would not be very right if I start straight with what Mrs. Abila would have said. I would also just speak a little about Rose. Rose has been a very close friend of mine. We worked together with Rose at Liberty Life. I met Rose one time at 20th Century at a point when I had just left direct employment. And when I met Rose, we had never met before. We met as strangers. But happy today, I'm not able to explain to anyone how I managed or how we spoke. But we became friends from that day. And it's Rose who pushed me into moving from looking for a job to join the insurance industry. Before then, I had not known that people earn money by selling insurance. So I met Rose one day at the 20th Century, somebody you totally do not know, and she tells me, I can introduce you to something that you can do. And the rest is history. That's how she took me, taught me, and brought me up in the insurance sales. And that is what Rose Urio is. She gets into you, she doesn't know you, then you get to know her better. We thank God for her life. Coming to Mrs. Abila sent me to represent her about Rose. She says she met Rose earlier in her life, even before Rose was married. She met Rose through her friend, her childhood friend, who was called Mary Urio. So Mary Urio introduced Rose to Mrs. Abila when Rose was still a young girl. And they lived together as friends. Their relationship was later stretched when one of Mrs. Abila's daughters got married to Rose's first cousins. But even when there were changes in that marriage, it did not change their relationship. They still remained friends and colleagues. Rose worked together with Mrs. Abila in Liberty Life right from the time it was Alico Insurance, and they lived together. Even during her illness, they would still speak and know how Rose was doing. She would still call Rose and find out how Rose is doing. During their career, which they worked together at the Liberty, Rose worked with Mrs. Abila directly under Mrs. Abila, and later they just worked in the same company, but the relationship still continued. In that group, with that relationship, we formed one group that even after Mrs. Abila stopped being our manager, Rose and the rest of us, we still maintained what we called the Abila Five. And I can see some of them are here, and we kept visiting each other, that even when Rose was sick, we would still check on her. So Mrs. Abila has sent her heartfelt condolences. She could not be here because of her age and the COVID environment. That's the reason she sent me to represent her. But she has sent her heartfelt condolence. She feels the pain of losing Rose at this moment. And she says to Valentine, to Dr. Oyeko, please accept her condolence, and that she is together in you during this period of mourning. And may the Lord bless the rest of the family, even as you mourn during this painful time. May God bless you.
Praise the Lord. My name is Anna Manyara, and I'm here on behalf of the larger Liberty family. Maybe by show of hands, the people who come from Liberty, you can just wave your hand so that we can see you. I can see many of you are here. Thank you for coming. As you have seen, those are the people who work with Rose Urio. And many of them are also not here because of the circumstances that we are in. I would also like to request Paul Kanindi and the rest of the team, because the team has a small presentation or a song, to get ready so that by the minute I finish, you can come and make that presentation. Now, as I
have lost a colleague. Rose was a colleague in Liberty for the last 15 years. And someone who we have worked with 15 years, that's a long, long time. So she has become part of our family. I just want to say two things about Mom Rose Orio, as we called her. And the first thing is that Rose was extremely committed. Why was Rose committed? There are three things that I will highlight why Rose was committed. The first thing is that Rose, as I said, worked for Liberty, or worked with Liberty for 15 years. In our time, people are barely working in an institution for more than 5 years. So for somebody to be working for 15 years tells you that they are committed in a cause. The second reason why Rose was very committed is that at the age of 69, just almost 70 years old, she was still working. That is the age many people would say they would be in retirement, but not for Mom Rose Orio. Extremely committed to the career. The third reason why Rose was a very committed member of the society is when she got an accident in February 2020, and one time she was still recuperating on her bed. She was calling clients who had expressed the desire to enjoy some of our solutions, and sent out a colleague of hers to go and pick documents from those customers, having done majority of the work. For someone who was involved in an accident where she had injuries and fractures, to be calling clients tells you that that was a very committed person. The second point that I wanted to make about Rose is that Rose was a mother. She was a mother to many of us. Rose was a mentor. Benta did mention here that she was like a mentor to her, someone who introduced her to an industry and a career that she is glowing and thriving in. Rosario was mentoring and guiding many young individuals in the team that she was working in, and many of them are here. And then lastly, Rose was giving wise counsel to the younger insurance professionals, and wise counsel where there were conflicts or any forms of misunderstanding. And as such, Rose was a mother to many of us in Liberty. And so to the family, we want to pray to the Lord that He will remain close to you, closer to you than a brother would be close, and that He will remain your mother, even as Rose has gone to be with her God. Thank you very much. I want to invite the Liberty team who wanted to make a song presentation. Could you come up? Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. We'd just like to make a short tribute, a song that I think talks about what Rose was to us at Liberty, as a friend, as a colleague, as a mentor. We all have some candles, and you'll see they're all different colors. And I think I'd like to say the colors represent the things that Rose was to all of us. To some people, she was a sister. To others, she was a mother. To even others, in Liberty, she was a grandmother, because there are some people who are young enough to be her grandchildren. But she meant a lot to all of us. And to Valentine and Saumu, we know you have lost a mother, but we want to tell you we feel your pain, because we have also lost a mother. Yeah? So,
praise the Lord. The song is Carry the Candle. There is a candle in every soul, some brightly burning, some dark and cold. There is a spirit who brings a fire, ignite a candle, and makes his home. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the helpless, confused and torn, hold on your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light your work. Take your candle, go light your world. Frustrated brother, see how he's tried to light his own candle some other way. See now your sister, she's been robbed and lied to, still hold a candle without a flame. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the lonely, the tired and one. Hold your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light your